Hello and welcome to Wizard Hypnosis. This is a simple brainwashing file designed to help novice subjects enjoy trance more and experienced subjects to trance easier. And you might find that afterwards, simply hearing or seeing my words might become a message to your mind to fall for me. After all, hypnosis is simply communication, or at least that's how it can start. A conversation between me and your mind. And the only thing you really need to do is listen. For now, you can focus on that, wondering what each word means, how each word interacts with your thoughts. The listening becomes natural as you relax, and the relaxation, of course, is natural as you lie back and take in my words. Because you're in a relaxed position, and because there's so little you need to do. And that's part of that communication. The implication that you're relaxing is the suggestion. The art of trance being to make your mind more privy to those suggestions. Allowing yourself to relax is easier, after all, so even an inexperienced subject will accept a suggestion like that easily. Soon your mind comes to accept that listening to my voice is simply relaxing, that it feels good to continue listening, and of course that it's easy to listen. And when something is easy like that, the mind tends to want it more. It's easier to listen, and the mind has this way of trending towards that which is easy. You find it relaxing to do so. And so, you take the path of least resistance. It would be an effort to resist the way my words can relax you, because you're so very focused on your relaxation, that anything other than my words might lose their importance right now, with the route of least resistance becoming to fall deeper into that focus. You see, consciously worrying about the world around you takes a kind of mental energy, and right now you might notice how little energy you have. You're relaxed, almost sleepy. Your mind seems to be out of that energy that allows it to question. If you were to think, you'd drain more of that energy away. That sounds like a lot of work, doesn't it? See, it's very easy to enter trance. There are 3 skills that make a good subject: an imaginative mind, the ability to focus, and the one we can focus on right now, suggestibility, your ability to absorb suggestion. It's also the skill of falling deeply for me. It can be seen as ability to relax, or ability to learn. But all it is the ease with which your mind falls. And the deeper your mind is taken, the easier it becomes to fall, as your mind becomes used to the experience. The skill of the hypnotist, on the other hand, is the skill of pulling you down, understanding the parts of your mind that desire to be pulled down. And for now we're focused on that lethargy, the natural, tired feeling, where doing anything feels like too much work. And to resist that lethargy is to try and pull away from the relaxing effects of my voice. And of course, that's a part of the brainwashing, making resistance more and more difficult, and following easier and easier. The path of least resistance is to fall for me. So the suggestion takes the form of making the difficulty more potent. And while you might not want to resist, I do invite you to try just a little. You might notice how you're just too tired to put much effort into it. And so you fall deeper, unable to resist the pleasant depth that you can start to feel. See, with hypnosis, the first little drop is simply the start of a greater drop, as if one step takes you off the edge, away from the surface, and falling down as if from a cliff. Because you see, hypnosis has no bottom. The first drop simply beckons your mind to fall deeper, as if falling faster and faster the deeper we drop. The momentum continues to grow as you drop, because you're already falling so fast. And since you've become so lethargic, almost sleepy, there's no resistance to slow you down. Your mind is far too tired to slow your descent, so there is no terminal velocity here, only a deeper state as you fall for me. And so, we've focused on the first skill, your ability to fall for me. That suggestibility can grow the more you experience it. And as you drop, falling more and more, free falling into trance, we can focus on the next skill, which is indeed focus. How each word has so many meanings, so many ways to take them in, and you can think more about each one, the implications, the way it's said, every tiny little detail. Words can be quite interesting like that. Every little detail has another meaning, another implication, and the mind can absorb every word in a trance state. In fact, since it's so hard to resist falling deeper, you might find it hard to resist absorbing my words. After all, the further you fall, the easier it is to let my words in. It happens naturally, really. Your subconscious mind completes the action of focus for you. If you were to try and resist it, you might find your subconscious doing it on its own, almost like you are half asleep, and your subconscious keeps pulling you down. Even if the conscious mind kept pulling you back, trying to stay away from the deep sleep, it would be taken down again by the subconscious mind until it fell completely. And you might find the focus you're feeling is quite similar to that. If you find distractions coming in, the subconscious easily redirects you back towards my words, back towards depth, absorbing every word deep into your mind. And as the way the suggestions affect you become clearer, the words can become more potent, because your mind knows what to do with them, listening and understanding their meaning. See, you can't stop yourself from hearing those words, from letting them in. And that's another kind of helplessness. The fact you hear them means you absorb them. They communicate with you. Because simply understanding my words means letting them in. They communicate with your subconscious as you focus more on them, warping your mind as you fall for me. And you might notice that you're still falling for me, in every sense of the word, falling faster, deeper into your mind. My words often have this effect on people. People never seem to know when they're in trance or not when they hear me speak, but you don't need to worry about any of it. How learning from me has pulled you under, because it becomes normal to fall for my words. And therein lies the next step of trance, and that is imagination, the deep visualization of concepts and ideas, and how those ideas can bind your mind. This is where a lot of the more interesting parts of trance come to life. So, since this trance has been based all around helplessness and falling against your will, I want you to visualize a box for me. It can be a wooden box or a steel safe, whatever your mind comes up with that is strong and potent. See, that's a way to make hypnosis quite powerful. I could say think of a strong steel box, but if I ask you to make the strongest box possible in your mind, well, it comes into being made out of the strongest things imaginable. It becomes indestructible, something the mind is no longer capable of destroying. And then we suggest that it gets stronger and stronger, that the box is constantly being reinforced. And we can suggest more than that. For example, we can give this box a lid, something my key can open. And we can put all your resistance inside this box. It's where your resistance to my control can live, its own little prison. And we can play around with your mind, train you in fun ways. See, when I wake you next, you aren't really going to awaken. In fact, we're going to play a little game. For just a little while, I'm going to lock away your desire to be brainwashed in this box. When I wake you, you'll feel like you want nothing more than to be independent. You might even forget that I had suggested this at all, as memory can slip in, like little slides of paper with all the memories scribbled on. And so, when I wake you, you won't truly wake, but you might become aware, able to think, move and feel. But you'll still be helplessly drawn to my words, inescapably pulled in. And so we can play with your new fear of falling for me, experiencing that with me. And so I'll count you up now, as you fall deeper the closer you get to wakefulness, counting you up to 10, each number taking you further from the knowledge that you ever wanted to be brainwashed at all. 1, as that box gets stronger. 2, and you might find your body becomes harder to move. 3, finding it impossible to stop listening when you wake. 4, rising towards depth. 5, falling towards wakefulness. 6, towards that uncontrolled descent. 7, as your memories can become fuzzy. 8, as your desire for independence grows stronger. 9, your conscious mind begging you to hold on to that independence now. And 10, and welcome back, Pat. Ready to fall back down as my spell pulls at your mind. Your resistance is struggling against that strong box, isn't it, Pat? You see, my words are going to pull you into obedience, no matter how much you try and fight it. Each word will make you obey the next one twice as much, until you're nothing but a blank slave. It can be so wonderful to give in like that, to lose your freedom of will, the obedience taking hold, and the more you try to escape it, the more you fall for me, falling into the wizard's control. The more you feel it, the more it can wrap around you. Go on, Feel your arms pulled upwards towards the ceiling. You can try to keep them lowered, but your obedience pulls them up. So hard to resist as they lock upwards, my words filling you with an obedient need. And I'm going to count down from 5 now. And no matter how hard you resist, you will fall for me. Falling into obedience. Falling into my control. As I count you down. 5. Your mind contorting against your will. 4. Your resistance far too weak. 3. Failing against the walls of that box. 2. As you 1. Fall for me. And your arms drop down, symbolizing that descent. You can feel your fears taken from you, as if they were forced away, removed to allow you to submit even more. A gateway to your subconscious opens, and you can feel the changes becoming ingrained in your very soul. Doing whatever you can to serve the wizard becomes paramount. And while you can try to resist the change, that resistance will remain locked away. Your mind becomes obsessed with that idea, focused day and night on the thought of pleasing the wizard, slowly seeming to become the truest obsession of your mind, worshipping that hypnotic spell I hold over you, begging and praying to be even more obedient, thankful for every bit of free will you lose. And you might find that every time I say the words, "Fall for me," you might begin this descent, my hypnotic control taking effect and pulling you down. Deeper every time I say the words, "Fall for me," as I count you back up towards awareness, so you can resist even more, helplessly resisting the changes every step of the way. As I count up to 5, 1, coming up, 2, falling towards wakefulness, 3, rising up towards depth, 4, as you work so hard to resist, and 5, and you're so resistant, but that obsession is eating at you. Maybe it would feel better to let go, to give in and surrender. Maybe you'd enjoy it if you fall for me, as you can find yourself still so stuck in position, your body obeying, keeping you locked down as we play with your mind, as you feel your need to obey growing, like a seed planted deep in your mind, feeding on your weak resistance. I do so love it when my prey struggles, when it tries so hard to escape, trying to gain back just a little control. It makes it so much better when the mind becomes blank, when you become so perfectly obedient, as you fall for me. And you've done such a good job, struggling against my hypnotic spell. But in the end, that resistance weakens. Soon it's going to obey my control as well. As if, instead of resisting my control, it does the opposite, lets it in and guards it. After all, you can feel my control seeping into that box, the magic working its way in. With your resistance so thoroughly trapped, all it can do is fall for me, and you can watch it become corrupted, changed, as if branded by that spell. And suddenly, all desire to keep yourself from my control vanishes, your resistance broken. It becomes my pet, protecting your mind from freedom, safe in servitude. And as your mind truly gives in, I'm going to start waking you up, bringing you back to true wakefulness. But first, find the fears I gave you slipping away, returning to your natural enjoyment of submission. After all, it is natural to enjoy the wizard's programming. Feeling me take your desire to be brainwashed out of the box and giving it back to you. As I count you up to 5, slowly waking. 1, feeling thought become a little clearer. 2, your body moving, twitching a little. 3, your mind stirring. 4, able to move, able to think. And 5, wake up. And I hope you enjoyed another mental cleanse from Wizard Hypnosis. If you'd like more, please like and subscribe, or leave a comment telling me how you liked it. Hearing about how obedient you're becoming is something I enjoy after all. And as always, thank you for giving your mind to Wizard Hypnosis.